Well, hello, and happy Sunday. Today is Sunday on July 31st, 2022, and I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your host of Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are not sure what you are watching, I'm your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast deck. Super excited to be here. You're probably watching this at a later time today than the usual, but that's okay because there's some wacky planetary energy going on out there. It's known as the triple conjunction, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. Before I get there, want to just remind you, when you are watching this, please go ahead and share this out, like and comment. I would love to know what you love about the show, if it's the guests, if it's the card reading, if it's the astrology insight, or for all of the above. So share, like, and comment. Anyway, I want to give a shout out to all of my advertising partners making this show happen week after week after week. So to start off with, we're going to start with Dr. Terry Moss, who's the doctor of natural medicine. She was actually on my show last week, so if you did not catch last week's episode, you can go back and watch and see what she had to say regarding gut health. Gut health, yes. And then we have Gabriella. Last name can't say for the life of me, so I don't even try. She's a medical intuitive and also the founder of Alive Health Solution. Kendrick Greer, one of my favorite astrologers. CJ Ives Lopez, she's the host and publisher of the Author's Porch podcast and magazine. And for those of you who are interested, yes, her newest issue is up and running on Amazon. So please go get your copy. My column's in there. You definitely want to read it, especially for this month because it's all about the Lion's Gate energy and how to activate that energy for the month of August. Not only for August, this energy goes right through the entire remaining 2022. So it's an article worth reading. Plus, there's a lot of other amazing articles in there, too. Moving on to Kitty Foss and Amy Martin. They are the hosts of Intuition of the Soul. They have amazing programs. One of my favorite is on Tuesday nights, which is about spirit communication. Unfortunately, I have not been able to connect with that group, only because I've had other obligations, but I definitely recommend you do. Then we have Nick Rafter. He is our real estate agent and also writer, editor, and journalist. So if you are looking to write your book or blog, he's your go-to man. Or if you're looking for that new home, apartment, please reach out to him. Joel Monkman. He is our shamanic healing practitioner and a wellness advocate. Last but certainly not least, we have my amazing guest for today, and I'm sure, almost positive, I'm going to screw his name up. So I'm going to give it a whirl. First name is Daniel Martinez, and the last name is where I go wrong. So I'm going to leave that blank, and when he comes on, he'll actually say his name better. He is a spiritual journey facilitator and a spiritual development coach. So there you have it, all our amazing partners that help the show run week after week after week. As I promised, again, that planetary energy we have going on right now. Today's the last day of July, so we're moving out of what I like to call the 7 energy month, which is all about our spiritual awakening, connecting with spirit, which is so appropriate with today's show. It's also the last day to sort of sit quietly and make that connection. But it's never the actual last day because we always have opportunities in every month. As we move into this last day, we have an amazing energy, a wacky energy, a first in a lifetime of our lifetime energy, which is known as the triple conjunction, where we have 3 planets in Taurus energy. A little bit about Taurus. Taurus is the second house energy associated with our relationships, all types, whether it's intimate or professional, and friendships, and our physical and material possessions. So all the things that we own, all the things that we connect with, whether it's through the human form or the spiritual realm. And those 3 planets are Mars, Uranus, and the North Node. Just a little bit about these planets. Mars is about let's get up and do something. Okay, so if you've been feeling like the itch to like literally get up and move things around, to reorganize, that's Mars energy. Now, depending on where these particular planets are in your specific personal chart, will then give you the theme to what this triple conjunction is going to help you do and be. Then we have Uranus. I call this planet the midlife crisis planet, but it's really called the awakening. What are you being awakened to? And the big question I want to ask you is, what is not going right yet? And that's what this energy is actually going to help us amplify and activate as we move forward. Then last but not least, we have the North Node. The North Node is about your soul's purpose. What is your soul's purpose? For me, for many years, since the age of 12, I've always known what my soul's purpose was. However, things are starting to look a little differently than what I imagined it to be all the way back when I was 12. And that's what's going to happen with many of us. How we saw our soul's purpose is going to have a really different, shall we say, makeup. And for those of you who may not know what your soul's purpose is, this is an opportunity for you to start to tap into that energy to find out what it is. So all that being said, this energy is today. This energy lasts, give and take, 3 to 4 days where we have the explosive energy of this. However, this is energy that's going to take us right into the remaining portion of 2022. Every one of us are literally activating into this new process. So what I like to do here is I'm going to pull a card to help you really activate your energy and to work on that one chakra to help clear out anything in that one chakra so you can be aligned with this triple conjunction. So let's see what's in store for all of us. Here we go. Forgiveness. What a perfect card to forgive. And who is it we have to forgive? Well, mostly ourselves. We have to forgive ourselves for anything that we've done in our past where we felt that maybe it was a shouldn't, a should've, would've, what if. Forgive yourself. Let all of that energy go. Put your past behind you, which is why it's called the past, and start really allowing yourself to see forward. And then align that forgiveness also in reference to anybody around you. The chakra is the crown. Crown energy is what activates and helps us have that connection with spirit, which again, perfect card for today. 99. The 9 energy is associated in numerology based on letting things go and transforming and evolving. And when you can move into forgiveness, you are evolving. And forgiveness is the highest level of healing you can have. Now, in reference to astrology, 9 is associated with Sagittarius energy, which is fire energy, which is about the spiritual wisdom and traveling between awake time and sleep time, where we get to connect with spirit. But we don't have to just connect with spirit during our dream time. We can learn now to connect with spirit during our awake time and have major conversations. And this is the great, great gateway into our conversation for today. With all that being said, again, I want you to work on that crown chakra, clear the energy, come out of your ego, move out of that 3D vibration, allow yourself to transition into your 5D and see what is possible by doing just that. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and when I come back, I'm going to have my amazing guest here, and we're going to dive into an amazing topic. So I'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to the Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit invitation. My name is Daniel Martinez Stahl. I've invited 11 other incredible spiritual intuitives to come and join me as we give Spirit a platform for them to share with us their latest messages, healings, and transmissions. To register and attend for free, please go to channelingspirit.net. I look forward to seeing you there. Being spirit, being human, and simply being from love. Bye-bye.
Each of us has a mission. What's your mission? Would you like to become a community health resource specialist so you can help your family and your community? For more information on this new training, email me at terry@morsewellness.com. That's TERRY @MORSE wellness.com. You can become a community health resource specialist.
Hello, and welcome back. If you are just tuning in, I'm your amazing host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I was sharing some amazing insight. Now, before I introduce my guests, I need to share this card because I think it's appropriate for today's conversation. It's all about the crown chakra. connecting us to spirit. Whereas when we actually learn how to activate our energy so we can connect to spirit or channel to spirit, it's our crown energy that gets activated and aligns us to this other world, so to speak. The word for today is forgiveness, and it's the highest level of healing you can do. So learn to forgive yourself and forgive all parties involved. And remember that forgiveness is not about them, it's about yourself. And that number 99, which is actually 9, it's about letting go of your baggage, transitioning into this new version of yourself so you can be a spiritual being light enough to release your 3D vibration and moving into that 5D energy. So there's our card for today. Super, super excited to be here. For those who are watching, please remember to share this out, like and comment. I would love to know that this show is getting in front of as many people as it can. Now, my amazing guest, and I know I screwed up his name during the introduction, but in a second, I'm going to have him introduce himself. But before I do that, I do want to make a mention. Again, if you missed last week's episode, I had the amazing Dr. Terry Morse on, and we spoke about gut health. So go ahead and watch last week's show later today so you can get to find out all about her. She'll be back on in, I think it's like 2 weeks from now. So anyway, enough of her. My amazing guest, Daniel. Daniel, please do me a favor and just say your full name for me so this way the audience will actually know how to pronounce it.
Sure. It's Daniel Martinez Stahl.
Yes. Say the very last part of it.
Stahl.
Stahl?
I used to, friends of mine in college used to joke and say that I was Daniel Bathroom Stall. And I didn't really care for that nickname much, but it's how it's pronounced.
Yes. Well, it's thank you for that, because maybe I can actually remember it and say it the way it's supposed to be said. So our topic today is about life beyond form. So exactly, we're going to dive right into this. I mean, if you can, just feel like maybe a one-line introduction to what it is you actually do.
Absolutely. And so today's topic, I'm going to correct that because I know that this is what you and I talked about, but today's topic is actually about Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit. And within that conversation, the reason that I have the title of Life Beyond Form is because that's the topic that I'm going to be speaking about during the summit. And it also ties into the work that I do, which I thought would be a nice way to kind of integrate both conversations into one. And so, I work with spiritual regression. I work with spiritual development. And a few months ago, it occurred to me that I needed to create a virtual summit in order to give spirit a voice and for us to connect and to put ourselves into an environment where we can experience the energetic experience of being connected with spirit in a community. And so I created this this Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit in order to do that. And we're going into season 2 starting August 8th. Joanne Angel is one of my beautiful speakers for this event, which I'm really excited about, which is how she and I connected. And so that's just a bit kind of summary of what it is that I do and why it is that I'm here.
Excellent, excellent. And what we can do very quickly, if Bobby doesn't mind, just there's a flyer there that actually has all the information regarding the summit that is coming up. So if that can come up on the screen, that would be great. And my words today are going to be a little tongue-tied. Why not? Everything else is a little tongue-tied. So anyway, hopefully that has posted and the viewers can actually see that information, because Daniel has an amazing lineup of speakers coming on. And I'm really excited to be a part of this and to share how I do what I do. So thank you, Daniel, so much for bringing this together. I definitely think it is the perfect timing for that event to be showing up, because I believe there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be very interested to knowing about like that this exists for one, and that they are not, and it's so weird because the word I'm hearing is that they're not weird. They're not weird, because I'm truly believing that people think that they're weird if they're hearing voices in their head and they're like, why is that happening? And you're going to allow this platform to take place to help people understand, get a better understanding that A, they're not weird and they're not alone.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for a big part of the project is to normalize the idea of channeling and I put channeling in quotes because we all channel every single day. Every single one of us does. We just don't necessarily label it as such. And so a big part of the conversation is helping people understand that they're already connected to their higher self. They're already connected to their spiritual team. They're already receiving messages and guidance every single moment of the day. And it's just a question of, can you get to a level of your awareness where you can start to recognize it and start to actively play within that space, which is what, for me, this whole conversation is about.
Yes. And it's so interesting because, again, what's showing up for me when you said what you just said, once upon a time, I used to believe, and I think a lot of spiritual practitioners share it this way, where you have to get quiet within yourself to gain access to channeling with spirit. And what I literally just heard right now when you were saying what you were saying is we don't have to get quiet. I mean, I know there's plenty of times where I'm actually driving, where I'm actually working out, when I'm actually writing, and that's when I gain access to my spirit team and gain information. So it's not always about being quiet, but what I also do believe that it is about is quieting down, and I want you to confirm this for me, or whether it's true or not for you, quieting down all the monkey talk in the brain so we can better understand what it is that's trying to show up. Does that make sense to you too?
It makes perfect sense. And the way that I would describe it is, and this is the other part of the work that I do, which is what I refer to as a spiritual development side. For me, it's not about necessarily quieting down the monkey talk, but it's understanding what it is and where it comes from. It's understanding how the system of life works, understanding how the mind works, and the role that we play within that system makes it easier for us to navigate within that system with greater ease, with greater understanding, with greater flexibility, and with much more effectiveness and alignment with kind of the goal, our purpose, our higher self, all of these other esoteric conversations that we can go into. But for me, the critical aspect, which is what I always talk about, is in understanding how the system works, how the mind works, and the role that we take actively as a human within that process. So understanding the relationship between our spirituality and our humanity, the symbiotic relationship between the two, and the role that we play in both, because we have different aspects of ourselves. And when we start to identify how each of them relates to each other, we can create a language or vocabulary which makes it easier for us to communicate from our spiritual self to our human self, so the collaboration becomes much more effective. And that's the way that I would describe that.
And I think that's it's the best way to describe it. Yeah, because again, I know for myself, I've always sort of divided in reference to like the spiritual realm and the human realm. And reality of it all is I'm starting to truly believe that rather than being like a little bit of both, I'm starting to believe the more I do this work, the more I'm becoming more spiritual of the spirit versus the human side to me. Where again, we are all human, but we're here to become and move into that lighter version of who we are so we can have that major connection without what I'm seeing, without the wall and thinking that there's a separation.
Yeah. And for me, the big thing is recognizing that our human experience is a spiritual experience. And
Ooh,
a lot of people
like that.
A lot of people in our community, our spiritual minded community, and we hear this all the time. They want to ascend. They want to go beyond their human experience. And that's not really what I think we're here for. The more we allow ourselves to connect with our human experience, the easier it is for us to connect with our spiritual experience. And when we start to negate or to withdraw from aspects of ourselves, we create a level of resistance innocently. And as I'm told time and time again by a channel that I listen to, Sarah Landon and the Council, which I love, I always plug her, she's amazing. They always tell us that if there's resistance to something, there's resistance to everything.
Yes, very
and
true.
So as we allow ourselves to go more fully into our humanity, and again, for me, it's understanding what our humanity means. What does it mean to be human? Well, being human is understanding our spirituality as well. And when we ascend and I don't necessarily like using the word ascend, but a lot of people understand that. When we ascend in our spiritual growth, it is imperative that we allow our human to come along with that journey as part of that journey. We're partners with our humanity. We're partners with our human body. And we need to this is again, just my opinion. We need to recognize and appreciate and give credit to that partnership for us to flourish as humans in a spiritual experience. And so for me, it's about that balance of grounding everything that we do spiritually back into our humanity so that we can grow even more and so that we can expand even more.
I love that. I love that. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask that you share your information with our viewers so we can then take a commercial break. So give that information.
Absolutely. So the easiest way, given the subject of the conversation, is the Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit. Channelingspirit.net is the website. You can register for the event for free. You can attend for free. All the information is on the homepage, but it's channelingspirit.net.
Awesome. We're going to take that quick commercial break, and when we come back, there's going to be more conversation about channeling spirit and see where this goes. We'll be right back.
If you are turned off by conventional medicine and their mantra, "Do you want meds for that?" there's a better option. I'm Gabriella Mihalichan, medical intuitive and healer. Let me help you find the root cause of your illness and guide you through healing. My intuitive method directs your body to heal itself and removes barriers to healing. I invite you to schedule a session today at alivehealthsolutions.com.
Hi, I'm CJ. The Author's Porch is a community where you find good books and good people. We collaborate with services that deliver quality to authors and publish a magazine for authors by authors. Come by, let us feature you or review your book. Coffee is always on, and no matter what time you arrive or where you come from, the porch light is always on.
Hello, my name is Nick Rafter, journalist, writer, editor. I'm happy to be offering copy editing and line editing services at competitive industry rates. If you have a book or any document that needs to be edited and thoroughly looked through, please contact me at nickrafter@gmail.com and let's discuss how to get that work done. That's Nick Rafter, NICKRAFTER, @gmail.com. I hope to hear from you soon.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I have my amazing guest, Daniel, here. I'm going to leave it that way because, maybe I'll give it a try. Daniel Martinez Stoll. Yes? Did I say it? Oh, yes. Fast for me. Yeah. All right, enough of that. So we've been chatting about channeling spirit. And my next question, although I have a feeling we talked about it, so if we did, we'll just move on to another conversation. My next question is, how does channeling spirit fit into everything that we do based on our human and spiritual side? How does it actually all fit in?
It's a really good question because one of my friends always says to me, why am I interested in channeling? Because channeling isn't something that he's particularly interested in. And he's always wondering why it is that I'm pursuing this path. For me, learning to channel actively is really about allowing myself to become more connected with my connection with my higher self.
I love that.
Learning to channel for me is about, again, becoming an active participant in that process so that I can leverage that relationship when I need it more often or more easily or more regularly. And interestingly enough, as I learn to channel, in order for me to channel, I need to get a deeper understanding of who I am as a spiritual being and as a human being. And so as I deepen my understanding of who I am and what I am, it makes channeling more possible. And I put channeling in, again, in that kind of more traditional sense of channeling. I'm not a very active channel in the sense that, I don't hear voices. I don't really see images. I have more of a knowing, which is really difficult to decipher. And again, that's part of the reason that I created this event, is because a lot of us are getting knowings and feelings that we're getting as drivers for our experience. And a lot of those are messages from our team. And so part of normalizing what this whole idea is of channeling is in being able to recognize, wait, this knowing that I have, this feeling that I have, this is coming from something beyond myself to help me in my journey. And so that's part of the connection and the communication. So learning to live our lives more actively in a channeled environment makes it easier for us to recognize that we are divine energy. And when we recognize that we are divine energy, we are source energy embodied in this human form that calls himself Daniel. All of a sudden, my experience of Daniel becomes limitless.
Yes, yes.
And so I'm still human. I'm still having my trappings. I have my levels of resistance, but the more aware I am of who I am and what that means, the easier it is for me to get out of my own way and to experience life in a much richer, much fuller, much more embodied sense as a spiritual being in a human body than separate.
Yes. And I want to bring out something for our audience to understand. And again, this is something that I've always mentioned, but again, each day as I learn more and more about channeling and who I am on a soul's level, recognizing that the resistance that we do have is actually a good thing, because when we do have resistance, it means that it gives us something to work towards pushing through. So if someone is fearful of something, they can use that fear to help them push through something so they can gain a better understanding of who they are from a soul's level and peel away a layer of themselves of what they were afraid of, or that resistance of like, okay, why is it that I don't want to do this? Or why is it that I prefer to just be in this comfort zone? And I air quoted it, yes, this comfort zone. And that seems to be like the fad or trend that we're speaking of a lot lately, is so many are in their comfort zone and rather stay there because A, they know where they are, they know what they're doing, and resisting the ability to discover who they are on a much deeper level, which then may very well bring in a whole other chapter, as Daniel says, this channeling energy, and Daniel says, in regards to the way he channels, isn't about how he sees or hears or feels, and I'm the total opposite. I have all of that, and it's like, whoa, and never really looked at it as, well, I channel energy, until I really started realizing, like, oh, this is a part of channeling energy. So I find it very fascinating for you, Daniel, on how you facilitate what it is you do and the work that you're doing. And how many people that you're actually going to help make sense of what they're experiencing right now. Because I'm almost sure, since this pandemic, there's a lot of people out there that is trying to figure things out. Now, I know it's not one of our questions, but since the pandemic, have you noticed more people reaching out to you with the question of like, why am I feeling this, or what is this?
So before I answer that question, I want to talk about resistance a little bit, and it's relevant to the work that you do. The metaphor is beautiful. It was presented to me in this way from a spirit friend of mine through my channel practice group with my friends that I talk a lot about in my programs. Resistance is like working out in a pool. You develop muscles that when you get out of the pool, it allows you to run faster, to work easier, because the resistance within the pool developed those muscles. And so resistance isn't something to avoid or something to speak negatively about. Resistance has its role and its purpose. I am learning very, very slowly throughout this process. I'm told time and time again that I will eventually get there. But for me, I feel it's important for me to take it slow, not only so that I can learn and develop at my own time, but also so that I can bring people along. And because they can see that, I'm not if I can channel, anybody can channel, because I'm one of those people. And people say this all the time, but I've got friends that took the channeling class that I took, that the first time they tried, they channeled beautifully. I wasn't one of those people. And so for me, this idea of resistance, there's a value to it and there's a benefit to it. It's just another experience. We're here to have experiences. There's no judgment on one experience versus the other. So if you've got a lot of resistance, great. You've got a lot of resistance. Enjoy that resistance. Enjoy that process. Allow that process to feed you and to give you information of what it is that you're getting from that process, and accept it with love and appreciation. And then eventually, when you're ready, in quote unquote divine timing, it will shift.
I love that. I love that. Yes, I do love that. You know, and it's really like so as divine timing. You know, it's perfect timing in regards to where we are right now with all that's been going on. The planetary energies that we have. You know, I'm a big believer that these planetary energies are helping us get to where we need to go with the resistance that we may have, and helping us to really unfold and peel off different things that we don't really need, like, you know, the physical and the material stuff that sort of gets in our way, you know, prevents us from having that clear path and understanding to there's something so much more than what we actually see in front of us. And when we can be open to that, it gives us the understanding that we are capable of so much more. And we all move into this channeling energy, spiritual realm at our own pace.
Yeah. There's no judgment there. There's something else that I want to bring up. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of months. So someone else that I listen to is actually my teacher, is Jamie Butler. She has an energy update that she does every month for free on YouTube. And Maitland is one of her guides who comes through to give this update. And Maitland was telling us last month that in the next couple of months, the energy of resistance is being lifted more and more from our planet. So it's going to be interesting to see in the next couple of months where we are going to shift individually and collectively as this resistance becomes less of a staple as an energy that's working within our experience. And so it'll be really interesting to see where that goes. Yes. I don't want to neglect the question that you asked me, and I'm going to answer it really, really quickly. I'm in a very interesting situation where I don't have a lot of people reaching out to me for work. So I can't really answer the question of whether or not people have reached out to me more because of COVID. For whatever the reason, the different things that I've tried just haven't really quite landed. And I'm still pursuing my interests in my work, and things are still there, but I can't really answer that question because for someone that doesn't have a client base, it's hard for me to answer that question.
Yes, yeah. And it's interesting because I think everything of what you said up until now is perfectly aligned. And like you said, things are going to shift, you know, as you just quoted, over the next couple of months. And I do believe that as we move out of 2022 and moving into 2023, based on numerology, carries a 7 vibration, which means spiritual awakening. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen over the next couple of months as well. With that being said, let's let you share how people can reach you again.
So again, channelingspirit.net is the platform that we are talking about right now. It's a virtual summit where we give spirit a voice and we connect energetically with that experience. What they say is, of course, not only of interest and important, but ultimately it's about being in that energy and having that energetic experience. And that experience in and of itself will shift us.
Excellent. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, Daniel's going to provide a tip regarding when's the best time to really move into this process. And I'm also, if Daniel's open to it, going to give Daniel a card reading and perhaps give him some insight to what's in store for him going forward. So we'll be right back with all that.
Hey, this is Joe Monkman, and I am a personal development trainer. And that means that I help people step into their leadership roles, take their place as a visionary, really understand their own mastery in the world so that they can really find their place at the buffet of life. And if you want to know more, you can find me on my Facebook page at Joe Monkman and joemonkman@gmail.com.
Hi guys, I'm Kendrick Cortez Greer, personal astrologer and astrological counselor here in Brooklyn, New York. I've been an astrologer for over 23 years now, providing astrological readings, counseling sessions, workshops, and corporate events all throughout the tri-state area. I've been very blessed and lucky to have clients all throughout the United States and beyond. If you're interested in a reading that is warm, heartfelt, honest, and conducive to speaking to one of your best friends, please contact me at 917-863-7528. You can also email me at kendrickstar@gmail.com. That's Kendrick, STAR, @gmail.com. And for you Insta people, find me on Instagram at Kendrick Cortez Astrology. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Toodles.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kitty Foss.
And I'm Amy J.
And we're Intuition of the Soul. We are a Facebook and YouTube group that has created a sacred spiritual place to look at your spiritual practices.
And there's too much to tell you about what we do, but let me tell you, we have weekly activities, we have monthly activities, and you are not going to want to miss our spiritual practitioner series. So join us on Intuition of the Soul.
Aloha.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. If you are just tuning in, remember to share, like, and comment. And I have my amazing guest, Daniel, here. And we've been talking about channeling spirit energy. So you're definitely going to have to come back and watch from the replay if you're just tuning in now. And you could do that on all the major platforms, to name just a few: Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and also YouTube. So this is our third segment together. This is the segment where my guest shares one tip. And the question of this one tip is, Daniel, for someone who might be interested in getting started on this and really getting to know who they are, you know, and experiencing life on a much deeper level, where would you recommend them starting and beginning with this process?
So this is a question that comes up a lot. I always recommend that people follow their intuition. Go with whatever feels right. Expose yourself to different teachers, to different ideas, and something's going to resonate with you. Something's going to align with you in some way. There will be a sense of recognition in something that somebody says. And that oftentimes is kind of our higher self or our team pointing us in a direction that's right for us in the moment. There is no right or wrong process. There's only your process. And this is something that I'm learning more and more, is that what's true for Joanne Angel isn't true for me. What's true for me is true for me, and that's it. Nobody else. And so finding like-minded people that speak a language that resonates with where I am and what I want to develop and what I want to experience, that's where I recommend people play. And if you make a decision and you go into something that you don't particularly like, or you don't, eventually you learn enough to know that that's not where you want to be, beautiful. That's what you needed to learn by going into that experience, to learn enough to know that that's not where you want to be. And then you jump out and you go somewhere else. But most importantly, it's about going within yourself. Because all of our learning comes from our own insights. It comes from a remembering, a recognition of what we already know to be true, a connection with our all-knowing self. So as we go within, it allows us to connect and to feel and to sense what's right for us. By going outside and learning more and connecting ourselves with people and teachers and different ideas, keep in mind that the beauty and the strength of anything that you are told is not in who says it or what they say or what you read, but it's in your insight that came from that. So as somebody says something and you go, oh my God, that is so amazing, what you're reacting to isn't what I said or what Joanne Angel said, it's what you heard. And that's what you're reacting to. And that's what I point people towards time and time again, is to look within yourselves for your answers. And what that means is recognize that the insights that you get as you are learning are coming from you, not the person that you're following, not the person that you're learning from, not the person that you're studying. They become inspiration. They become triggers. The more connected I am as a facilitator to who I truly am, the easier it is for you to connect with who you are when you work with me. But what I emphasize is that it's not me that gives you any information. It's all coming from you.
I love
so
that.
the more that I push you to see that, the more empowered you become in your own journey, where I'm a facilitator to help you along the path. And I can provide information and inspiration and whatever the case may be. But any learnings you get from me are not coming from me. And I want to emphasize that. It's all coming from within yourself. And again, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's worth repeating. The more you recognize where this information is coming from, the more empowered you will be on your journey.
I love that. I love that. Which is, again, I mean, the name of the show, Joanne's Healing Within. Everything's about going within. Of course, again, as I like to refer to, the universe guides us to different mentors and people for us to help tap into that energy that's within. So I love that tip, very much so. Thank you for sharing that tip. Thank you for sharing your wisdom on channeling spirit and having that connection and really understanding for our audience to really understand so they can better understand where they are. Because I do believe there's a whole lot of people out there right now really trying to figure out, like, what exactly is going on and why am I feeling this way, and I've never had this experience before. So thank you for sharing your wisdom today. I
Absolutely.
truly appreciate that. And because, like I do with all my guests, I like to share some insight with you. Are you open to receiving some insight today?
Of course.
Okay. So what I'd like for you to do is two things. I'd like for you to give me your month and day that you're born, not the year.
February 21.
Thank you. February 21. Perfect. And what I also like you to do is say out loud your full name that's on your birth certificate for me 3 times.
Daniel Martinez Stahl. Daniel Martinez Stahl. Daniel Martinez Stahl.
I love it. Are you familiar with numerology?
A little bit.
Okay. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but your personal energy year number for this year, for the remaining of this year, is 11, which is a master number, one of the master numbers. And what that actually means is that you are here to heal the relationship with self. But you're also here, which makes perfect alignment to why you're doing what you're doing. You're also here to help others heal the relationships with themselves. So you're classified as the master healer for this year. So being able to go deep into partnerships and relationships with everybody, human and also spirit as well. So that's just a little energy based on your numerology. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card for you to help you get aligned with this amazing energy and work with one chakra. That chakra is yellow, which is the solar plex, which is about trusting your gut intuition, which is exactly what Daniel just shared for everybody else in the world, to trust. So for you, it's the same thing as trusting that you are on the right path to where you need to go. There is a major transformation taking place for you right now. You know, as you said before, you're not quite sure in regards to like clients when I asked you how many people have approached you since the pandemic. Well, there's a major transformation happening for you right now. A lot of work going on behind the scenes that is not yet to be revealed for you. But you know, with that 1 in 8 energy, which is 9, you are letting go of a lot of physical and material things that no longer serves who you are moving into. Does that make sense so far?
Makes perfect sense.
That 9 is also associated with the transformation and how you are evolving right now and moving forward. Okay? And when we think about February, I want to just throw a little bit information there. When you think about the month of February, carries you are still in the Aquarius energy, so to speak. Do you qualify yourself to be Aquarius or Pisces?
Pisces with a little Aquarius thrown in.
Yeah, because you're like right there, right on the cusp. So because of that energy, you have Saturn, which is in retrograde in Aquarius, and then you also have Neptune in retrograde in Pisces. So as I said about that transformation, Saturn is about your structure, Neptune is about your spiritual awakening. So I'm quite interested to follow you and see what's going to go on in your life over the next couple of months. How does this resonate with you?
It's aligned with a lot what I've heard from a lot of other people.
Perfectly said. Awesome. Again, Daniel, please, for our audience, let them know how they can reach you.
Beautiful. So thank you for this opportunity to share my ideas, my concepts. If you want to learn more about me and Joanne Angel and other amazing speakers, please join us for the spiritual project, as I like to call it, which is the Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit. And you can find that at channelingspirit.net.
Awesome.
And if you want to learn more about me or any of the speakers, there's links there that will point you to all of our websites with a little bio. So all the information is in channelingspirit.net.
Awesome. And again, Daniel, thank you so much for being here today. I look forward to this amazing event and what's going to come out of that and how we all share what we do. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I'll be coming back with the conclusion of today's show. So I'll be right back.
Thank you for letting me be here.
My pleasure.
Hello and welcome to the Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit invitation. My name is Daniel Martinez Stahl. I've invited 11 other incredible spiritual intuitives to come and join me as we give Spirit a platform for them to share with us their latest messages, healings, and transmissions. To register and attend for free, please go to channelingspirit.net. I look forward to seeing you there. Being spirit, being human, and simply being from love. Bye-bye.
Did you know that stress and unprocessed emotions can store in your body, creating more muscle tension and pain, causing illness and disease to flare up? With the help of Chakra Balance Reiki Healing, you can begin to feel better within one session. Hello, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast Deck. And I would like to help you release issues from your tissues as you release emotional weight and begin to feel better physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. For more information, email healingwithin76@gmail.com.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. If you are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and you missed an amazing show. I had an amazing guest on, Daniel Martinez Stahl, and he's amazing. He's amazing. He is the spiritual journey facilitator and also spiritual development coach. And he has an amazing event coming up, which is taking place it's a virtual summit, and it's taking place on August, I believe it's August, I don't even know the date, totally forgot. But there's a flyer with that information on there. Anyway, come back and watch it because he shared about channeling spirit. And if you are in that place right now where some weird things are happening, I use the word weird, he might be the right person to connect with to find out exactly what's going on for you. But one of the tips he shared is tap into your intuition, because your intuition will definitely guide you. So with that all being said, just want to give a shout out to some of my advertising partners that have some great things going on. As I just mentioned, Daniel's event that's taking place the second week in August, and that's the Channeling Spirit. So there's a flyer there. Then we also have the Author Sports podcast and magazine, hosted and publisher by CJ Ives Lopez. Intuition of the Souls, hosted by Kitty Foss and Amy Martin. Spirit Messages and Energy Insight, hosted by Joe Monkman. Kendrick Greer, our astrologer. Real estate agent Nick Rafter. Dr. Terry Morse, Morse of Wellness. So those are some of our amazing, amazing advertising partners that are promoting some amazing events. Also want to remind you that we are moving into August. So the first Wednesday, yours truly will be coming on with Joanne's Cosmic Energy radio show and sharing the forecast for the month of August. What's in store for you? Pulling out 12 cards for each zodiac sign. So save the date, circle it on your calendar. It will take place 3:33 p.m. Eastern Time live. You can listen, you can watch, all of the above. Also, for those of you curious of who's coming on, the next time I'm here, I will be away the following week, which is the first Sunday in August. The first Sunday in August? Yeah, I think so. I don't even remember. Oh my God. But I will be away then, but I will be back the following Sunday, and I have an amazing healing demo going on that day. We'll have Gabriella, who's our amazing guest. Again, she's our medical intuitive and the founder of Alive Health Solution, and it's going to be a demo. So Nick Rafter is going to be joining us, and she's going to be demonstrating how to literally heal using her healing prompt therapy, how to heal an allergy. So you definitely very well want to join us for that. All right, guys, that's what I have for you for today. Look forward to connecting with you. Enjoy your time. See you in 2 weeks from today. Let's see you on Wednesday, the first Wednesday for Joanne's Cosmic Energy radio show, 3:33 p.m. Eastern. It's been a pleasure. I know I had fun today. I hope you did too. Bye-bye for now.